The Knicks' 4-game winning streak is over. Knicks were down by 16 points in the fourth quarter. They force overtime. As I mentioned, they're up 8 in that first overtime with 1:30 to go. It's tough, man. They lose in double overtime.
Oh, what a game. It really was fun to watch. I mean, just the roller coaster of emotions were all over the place. But I give these guys a ton of credit. They worked their butts off. That unit got themselves back into the game in the fourth quarter. They had the game in overtime. Just Trae Young is just like this little water bug that just is so elusive, and it's just so annoying to have to try to stop him because he's so good. I mean, he's so skilled, and he's so quick, and he can get wherever he wants on the floor. I thought the Knicks did a good job of double teaming him, try to make other guys beat them, but this is a team coming off a back-to-back that's really been playing really hard, and when that game kind of kept going and going and going, I think it just looked like the Knicks ran out of gas a little bit, and Elfrid Payton, he made a couple mistakes there in the pick and roll. I like the play calls. I think at the end of the game, you got to put the ball in your point guard and Julius Randle. Run that play, run pick and roll, have your shooters space the floor. If there's a breakdown in the defense, then you kick it out to the shooters. They tried to run some plays to get Ellington shots, to get Bullock shots, but it's not easy when you don't have a guy who's a real creator and a one-on-one guy that can get buckets in a one-on-one situation. So, that was a crazy game and a tough one, a heartbreaker for the Knicks to lose. To feel you had 5 games in a row right in your palms. Yeah. It just slipped away in that first overtime. Yeah. It's a tough one to swallow.
That's that again. So minute 36 to go, up 8. They get the stop. They go down the other way, and it's at that point that's where you're Elfrid Payton. You're a veteran point guard. You got to know in your head we do not need to attack the rim on this one. He attacks the rim there, probably trying to get greedy. Let's get up 10. Let's go ahead and bury them, right? They get the shot block, and then the game just everything turned at that point. And that is your turning point of the game right there because you had it. Bill had his 4.5 out of 8 right there. Your 5-game winning streak right there. You couldn't do it.
I had no problem. He had a 2-on-1 Okay, I understand that. Listen, if you had LeBron James, or if you had James Harden on your, or if you had Marcus Morris on your roster, then I'm fine with just dribbling it out and just running the clock and getting a bad shot, because that's what's going to happen a lot of times in the fourth quarter with the lineup out there on the floor. They don't have a guy. When you have a 2-on-1 opportunity and you're right at the front of the rim, and it wasn't a chance to extend your lead from 8 to 10.
It was an awkward 2-on-1. Herter made a great play on the block. It was an awkward 2-on-1. That's what got the turnover. Okay, now they're going to be desperate. They're going to have to start thinking about fouling.
Get a stop.
You get that. You
even
bring
if
that
they're
thing
up
out.
6, then there was a comedy of errors after that.
Well, yeah, you had let's see. So you had a block shot there.
Turn down open shots.
Another block shot. You had a shot clock violation out of a timeout because you passed up on a 3 and you
passed up on threes, right?
And then you have a traveling turnover, which really cost you as well.
So what
all
does
those
that
possessions
say? That says that lineup is not
when you're
comfortable
you
with
protect
just
that lead.
milking the clock and in the last 5-10 seconds of the shot clock getting a good quality shot. So I have no problem with Elfrid Payton when he's got an advantage going to the basket and he's good finishing on the fast break, trying to put the nail in the coffin and trying to get that bucket. It would be like
nobody said you didn't have to shoot. It would be within 10 seconds.
It's the difference between just running the football and not getting a first down, whereas going for it and maybe not getting it.
You saying run it instead of throw the football?
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you though, early in that fourth quarter, the Knicks were down 99-83.
Yeah.
And they're able to come back and force overtime.
It was phenomenal.
The resiliency of this group is worth pointing out.
Wayne Ellington was great again, and he seems to be Mr. Second Half, Mr. Fourth Quarter. I love how the guys were finding him and really looking for him, getting him going with open shots.
Ntilikina had a really good game.
He was great on defense, too. When he was on Trae Young, he really neutralized Trae Young. Mitch was all over the place,
great game for him,
rebounds
too.
Everywhere. And that was a big play where there was a mismatch, mouse in the house with Trae Young on him.
Tough shot here.
Here's the end of the game.
Good look. Is that a good look? That's a good look.
I love that look.
Just missed it.
Yep, and then Trae Young had a really good look.
Did Mitch get a piece of that, you think? Or at least he definitely seemed to change the arc of the shot.
Totally lost him. And Mitch read that and did a good job of being like, I better help my teammate out here. Trae Young, one of the best players in the NBA, is wide open. And Mitch just, blew the coverage and went straight over to Trae Young to try to, change that shot, and he did.
All right, so 116 after regulation, and we pointed out now as we take you through the first overtime, the Knicks were up by 8 points at 126-118 with 1:36 to go.
You have the ball moving, but that was fortunate. Ellington catches that, he knocks it down. I mean, he had himself another strong game. Now, here's what we're talking about. Look at that play. What a beautiful pass.
5-point game at
and
that
there
point.
you go, right.
Up
And
5.
so you're at this point. Oh, that's the tip, right. This play here. Watch the hustle. You think you get the good stop. They get the foul, and that's the play there. I lost track of where we were there, but that's the end of the first over. But watching that play by Young, not Young, but by Collins, that extra effort to get to that tip. That's what we're saying. How hard the teams were working there in that overtime. But still, you saw the one behind the back pass that Peyton threw to Bullock. It was the next possession that they were up 8. They had another break, and you're thinking, let's bite off more than we can chew on that one. You got one behind the back. I just felt like it was one too many.
All right.
All right, so 126 all after the first overtime, and Atlanta dominated the second overtime.
Yeah, and in that second overtime, I just thought the Knicks were just running out of gas.
Had a really hard time executing the half court.
Yeah, this was the first play of overtime to get the 2-point lead. And so they're up 2, but then he misses the free throw. And then Hunter knocks down that 3. And then that's the last one that put him up 6. It was a 3-point game, and then Trae Young. See, that's the same type of play where, normally you should take the ball out when you're up 3 and run some clock, but Trae Young figures, I'm not going to get a better look than this. This is like a layup for me from the corner from 3.
Yeah,
Let's really put the nail in the coffin.
Peyton was kind of a forced drive. It was a
fast break 2-on-1 opportunity.
It just didn't feel controlled. And number one, it's also a guy, you're talking about Trae Young is a 37% 3-point shooter, a guy that can get hot from downtown.
Peyton makes layups all the time on the fast break.
Hey, look, the two different types of players, in my opinion, on that one.
The Knicks had the momentum.
Easy for us to say sitting here, but as you were watching it, we
thought, they had a chance to go up 10.
When we're watching it, we were yelling, "You got to pull that back! You got to pull that back!"
Once you have the lead, it's 90 seconds to go. You're like, oh, Monday morning quarterback should have pulled it out. He had a layup.
He was literally yelling it as he was bringing up the floor. It wasn't Monday morning. It's not Monday morning yet, but it almost feels like it.
Yeah, it's an exciting game.
It was.